Greetings, YouTube. It's Matt from the Grand Arcade. We're back. We're doing the Farming Simulator 25 thing again. Alright. So, the race is on again. We're trying to get into April. It is March 1st. And we're going to try to get our fields prepped. Won't get all of them prepped before April, but that's okay. We can fertilize them then, and then plow them then, and then plant them then. But we really want to get our contracts done so that we can get into April and start buying some land. I want to buy some fields. That's the goal. I really shouldn't even go see if there's anything on sale. And luckily there's not. Nothing that we're really interested in, right away. Actually, that's not a bad cedar. Am I reading that right? Does that say 71% off? That's not a bad cedar. Does that really say 70? I've never seen one that high. 71% off. Wow, I'm reading that right. Okay, that's... What's the width on that? It's a 12-meter cedar. At 71% off. I just don't know how I can pass this up. I mean... Wow, look at all the stuff it does plant, though. That's... What is this, like a cedar slash planter? It does everything. Ooh. How much horsepower does it require? 300 horsepower, so we could pull this with the 6R and up, I think. That's not bad. I can't believe it does everything, though. Is this an in-game thing? The Vaterstad Tempo L16. This is a Stevie Edit version. What would that be under? Cedars or planters? We've got so many cedars. Actually, we do have that one too from Stevie. That's a slightly smaller one. It's 8 meters. Maybe it's under planters. Well, there's the Tempo K that we've got. I'm gonna say that that's a planter that plants all the other stuff. It does like a cedar. Oh, you can do grass with it too. You can do everything with it. Oh man, look at that. You can do carrots. Wow. Okay, well, we might have another cedar here. So that's regular 160 grand. But at 71% off, it's only 45 grand. I don't know how I can pass that up. Oh, do you have to cultivate before this one? Well, we plow everything anyway. I think plowing counts as cultivating, doesn't it? Planters are a special type of cedar They are used for crops like maize, which is corn, sunflower, and soybeans. I think that's the default description, though, for all the planters. If we go back to planters, yeah. So that's kind of the default description, unless you get a planter that does all that. So if we go to the next one, you can see planters are a special type of seeder. They are used for crops like maize, sunflower, and soybeans. So that's pretty much the default description. But you're right. Technically, you have to have the ground prepped. It does not cultivate it, but I think, doesn't plowing apply? RBP Dog says no. Yeah, we definitely regularly plow, so I think that counts as like pre-cultivation. 71%. I've never seen one that high. Not like that. Let's see. What do we want to customize this as? We can do customizations on it. We can do standard or rear twin wheels. I think we got to do the rear twin wheels. It doesn't cost any extra. We got to max it out. What's the biggest? I think 20,000 liters is the biggest. Yep. So that's another $4,000 to that. You know what? On stuff like this, the water side stuff, I've just been keeping it as the default colors. We will take the plate off of it though. 49 grand? That's not bad. We own it. Alright, are we done fertilizing there? One more field to fertilize, that one right there. Down here in the southern area, southwest area. Plowing works in place of cultivating. Cultivating does not work in place of plowing. Yeah. Okay, so we're fully covered if we plow, which we did. So good to know. Alright. Weeder's still going. I think our other contracts are all weeding contracts. Actually, you know what? No, there is a hoeing contract. Oh, that's the guy that's doing that one. Okay. So we gotta wrap these bales. Gotta get that done. Do I have another tractor down here? I have the plowing one over there. Yeah, it's not a very good wrapping tractor. I tell you what, when this guy gets done fertilizing here, we'll take him over and start wrapping bales. Those are the only two contracts that are still out there that we got. I don't dare hit that button. So he's doing the hoeing contract. This one is actually done. That's the first contract that we did. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna go over here. And move the wrap outside so I can refill the wrapper, because I know the wrapper needs wrap. America. So this field, see, we fertilized this, put the first stage down. We've plowed it, so now it should be ready to plant. Here's my... have the thing on. Pallet of wrap. Set it inside the door here. Should be able to feel from the door. And then there's the wrapper. Wrapper, food wrapper. Come on. Got my Cool Blue Zero, Gatorade Zero. Good stuff. I've never tried the Glacial Freeze. I guess I need to get one and try it. Does it taste like the Cool Blue, I wonder? I like the Cool Blue Gatorade. But they just don't carry it a whole lot anymore. They, you know, all the stuff that you like, they end up either canceling it or replacing it or something, or they just quit carrying it and then you don't see it anymore. You love the Glacial Freeze? I'm gonna have to try it. I see plenty of the Glacial Freeze. I'm gonna have to get some of that Fire Shadow and try it. You see the Cool Blue everywhere? Do you see it in the Zero though? Because they do have plenty of the Cool Blue regular. They have the regular, and then what's that other Gatorade that they got now? The Force, something Force, G-Force maybe. Try Glacier Cherry. It's good. I have never heard of Glacier Cherry. There's Glacial Freeze. I know. I've seen that one. And then, you know, they have all the other colors in there. You know, the yellow, the orange, the green ones and stuff. But I've always liked the blue one, the Cool Blue. Gatorade. H2O. There's a Cool Blue Fruit Punch mashup. Ooh. I gotta try that. Well, the thing with the regular Gatorade is that there's way too much sodium in it. And sugar. So I usually try to go with the Zeros because there's less, I think there's less sodium in the Zeros, but there's a lot less sugar in it. Or maybe zero sugar in it. Alright, he's done there. Let me go wrap some bales. So somebody out there got done with another contract. It's up to me. I have to wrap the bales before we can move on. I need fuel, but the wrapping should go pretty quickly. Got 2 fields to wrap. At decent, they're pretty decent prices too, so that's always a plus. 01 just doesn't have as much flavor to you. Okay. Yeah, the extra salt or sodium and the extra sugar probably does give it a little more flavor. I'll be honest. I'm gonna drop this right there. I need to put a pressure washer down here. Alright, if there's any left on this pallet before I head up the mountain, I need to hit this pallet one more time. I don't know if there'll be any left on it or not. Oh, there might be. Might be a little bit left there. Alright, let's go wrap these bales over here. Now, I have learned if I put this in upper 3, I can turn my cruise on and just let it roll. I guess it depends on the bale's shape and the spacing. So let me put this in upper 3. Might even go faster than that. Guess it all depends on the spacing. Oh, and if I've got the auto eject on. Guess I need to try the Powerade too. Gatorade. H2O. Gatorade. H2O. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Water sucks. They were supposed to be making a sequel to that one. The Water Boy. It was supposed to have Adam Sandler's, I think his son. I don't know if it's actually his son, but it might have been Bobby Boucher's son. I have not heard any more about that. I know they're making a Happy Gilmore sequel, or maybe they've already made it and it's either, is it out yet? I bet it's one of those stream only things. Only water you drink is Crystal Light. Yeah, I saw the second Happy Gilmore. I guess it's out now. It's probably on one of the streaming things, isn't it? Guess they never made the water boy, or never maybe got into it, or maybe, I don't know. Haven't heard any more about it. They better get on it though. Question is, who all could return? Who all would return? I mean, you know, I know Jerry Reed, you know, he passed away, so I would imagine it would probably have a different plot synopsis, whatever, than the first one. So, I mean, Henry Winkler, you know, he's getting up there in age. Was it Kathy Bates that played his mom? She's getting up there in age. Vicky Valancourt, she, you know, I don't know what her story is. That whole crew's good friends. Yeah, I think they would, if they made a sequel to The Waterboy, that would make a lot of money. Because you think about how many people, I think more people probably identified with The Waterboy, Bobby Boucher, than probably Happy Gilmore. Probably made more money too, the Happy Gilmore versus the Waterboy. Stop rolling, stop rolling. These bales, that's the one thing about round bales, is that you get close to them, and I don't know if it's the vibrations from the tractor or just me being in the vicinity of them, but they just decide to start rolling for no reason. And that's why we do square bales. If we do square bales. Normally we only do the baling with the animals and stuff, so once we get into animals, we'll probably get back into baling. We have to turn that down to lower 3. Yep. Does the game still run like trash like on launch, frames per second wise? Well, let me turn on my frames per second counter. There we go. So, I've got a field full of bales here. And that's going to bounce around because I am in multiplayer. But you can see I'm averaging right close to 60 frames per second. Now, I don't have the thing turned up where, you know, it's can get more than that, but 60 to me, 60 frames per second is right there. I mean, it's right there where it needs to be. So it runs smooth for me. I will say that a lot of times when you first launch a map, you might have a lot of staggering or lag just because it's loading in the shaders and stuff. Picked up her 3. But no, mine's fine. I'm getting a cool 60 frames per second. You'll see it kind of sputter between like 55 to 60. Basically, when it picks up a bale, it's going to do that. So you see it kind of jump there. Anytime you do anything that requires an extra a little bump, like picking up a bale or hiring out a worker when he like engages and like actually starts doing the job, your frames are going to jump a little bit. That usually tends to happen, even if you have the best computer, console, whatnot. You know, it's going to do that. It's just part of the game. Bada boom. They did fix the bales launching out the thing though. Somebody came in and said, no, they didn't fix that. I'm like, well, you must be on a older version of the game, because in the latest version, they did fix that where it does not launch the bales. It's kind of like the Hawk Tua girl when you pulled up to the next bale. You're like, Hawk Tua, and then it'd like launch it out the back. Here. I'm about half done with this field. Here and start this row. This one's kind of in a curve here, so the bale's curved to the right. I hear the plane. There is a plane that flies over. You've never done this, any bale work in real life? It's often hot and, you know, but it's very relaxing. I've never done any bale wrapping, but I have picked up bales before. We didn't really have anything fancy. All we had was a very small flatbed homemade trailer. And we didn't even have any, it was small bales, so we didn't have any like hooks or anything. We just picked it up with the string and threw it up on there, stacked up on there. Yeah, these get a little tighter when they curve around like this. Can't go even slow 3. Well, these were square. They weren't the big square bales. Basically, you just picked them up and stacked them up on the trailer. They weren't that bad. Kind of itchy a little bit, but not bad. It was a lot of work. Granted, I was a kid, but I didn't have the job of throwing them up in the loft either. I don't think I could have got them things up there. Yeah. I'll never forget it. My grandpa, he had a Model M John Deere, and he would pull that trailer, and that's what we'd load the bales on. And then he had I don't remember the model of the farm that he had. He had a It looks something like the one in the game here, but I don't know that it was the exact one. I'd have to see if I can find that out. See which model he had. But yeah, he had cows. And he got older, and a tornado come along and took his barn out, and he ended up selling the cows and got completely out of it. There's more bales somewhere. Where they at? In front? Yeah, looks like they're down here. Now, it wasn't a big operation. It was just a small barn, a few cows, but he took care of them. They had plenty of hay and everything. We didn't do like total mixed rations or anything like that. To my knowledge, anyway. The only thing I remember doing is the bales and stuff of hay. Yeah, tornado come and took out his barn, and it laid in pieces on the ground for a long time, and we were always told, don't go walking around the barn down there. There's nails and stuff sticking out of the lumber and the wood and stuff, so we never went down there and walked along it or around it. I don't know, sometimes, like that, getting back to a simpler kind of life, having your own cows, being able to, like, milk your own cows. He milked his own cows, and he had a what do you call those the churns, the little churns that had the stick in them, and you moved them up and down, and it churned it, and I think he made butter that way. He had a couple of those. I'll never forget the one though. He would him and my grandma, they would always use that and churn butter, I think is what they did with those. Am I missing some bales somewhere? Or is it going to magically roll over? I think it's going to magically roll over. There it is. Yep. We got it. Alright, we're done with that contract. One more contract, and then we can advance on. Except some of these completed ones. Make a little more money. Alright, let me go grab the last of this wrap over here, because I am definitely running a little low. Oh, I should not have tried to drive across this plowed field, though. It is slow going. I think that's all I can put on there. Probably need to look at making this just a fertilizing tractor, and then get a tractor that has I could probably use that Case IH Farmall C up there. It's got a front loader. Get a pallet fork for the front and put a pallet of wrap on the front, and then I can go hit all these contracts and not have to worry about running out of wrap. The only thing I'm really looking for on sale now is a Class 10 or 11 combine. I'm in the market for a Class 10 or a Class 11 combine. Come on, Betsy, pull the hill. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's almost too steep to come up. Alright, we're up there though. More round bales. Yeah. One of those situations where it'd be a full pucker. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, does the mail run on Sundays? No, that's my neighbor checking their mail. I guess they've been out of town. Everybody should be getting back into town now because the 4th of July is over. It's time to start winding down summer a little bit. The kids' parents should be getting ready to start the back to school shopping if they haven't already. Because school starts back in August sometime. Don't know exactly when, but sometime in August. And then once we get there, we're only 1 month away from the Burr months. My favorite month. Granted, I'm not a fan of the colder months. I do like, when the temperatures cool down and the humidities go down, and stuff. But you can keep your below freezing stuff. I'll have to break out my little heater here again that I got. Got one of those quartz heaters, and it's really nice. It does keep me warm here while I play the farm sim. The colder the better. You can have it, Fire Shadow. Now don't get me wrong, I like the fall temperatures, but when we start getting into the freezing stuff, where we get like sleet and ice and snow and all that really cold stuff, the older you get, the more you don't like it. Because you can definitely feel it. It is not a good feeling. Now, if I'm inside where it's nice and warm, and I've got a cup of hot chocolate or something like that, and I'm looking out the window and the Christmas lights are shining through it, I'm all for it. But just to have that with no power and no heat, and yeah, no. You can have that. Guess I need to be getting up there and looking and seeing if there is a Christmas tree up there. I'm in the market for a new tree. I want to get one that is not pre-lit. I used to think that the pre-lit ones were like the best thing. They're not. Because if the lights go out, if you want to do different lights, you can't do it with a pre-lit. You can't change them out. Most of the time, the pre-lit trees, the lights are like made onto the limbs. You only want enough snow to make a snowman. Do you want to build a snowman? I only want enough snow to maybe cover the grass. Not enough to cause travel impacts or anything like that. I got a little mud on the tires. Oh boy, they didn't look terrible. Looks like I've been driving through the gumbo or something. What we used to call it. Gumbo. Very, very sticky clay-like soil. My brother and I and a couple of his friends, we took our bikes. We were actually on a field road that went around the field. But it was getting kind of late in the day. And we had the bright idea, hey, let's cut across the field. We'll cut our time in half. And we'll get home quicker. We did not get home quicker. We actually had to leave our bikes in the middle of this giant field. And had to walk home the rest of the way. Once we got to the other side of the field, our feet had so much of what we called the gumbo on them that we looked like we had elephant's feet. It was not a good time. And we had to go back for our bikes later. We had to get our neighbor to help us get our bikes out of the fields. Boy, trying to get that stuff washed and cleaned off. Ugh. So I don't recommend cutting across the field, especially when it's like even slightly wet. 'Cause it wasn't really that wet, but I guess parts of the field were. Morning, Trent. Any news from FarmCon? Figured all the probably big news was probably yesterday. Reporting to us live from FarmCon 25. Trent and Zach. How's the weather look out there, Trent? It is hot. Thanks, Trent. What was the guy's name from Family Guy? Was it Ollie? They called him Ollie, the weather guy. How's the weather look out there, Ollie? It's raining. Thanks, Ollie. That's pretty much it. It's raining sideways. Thanks, Ollie. Yeah, all the big news stuff was yesterday. What are they doing today? It's probably like developer type stuff today. Probably not any like real big announcements or anything. No, I didn't see. What did you post last night about FarmCon? I haven't even gone to look at the tractor yet. Oh, where's it at? Under medium tractors? Let's be under medium tractors. No? Oh, you know what? I didn't activate it. That's what it is. I downloaded it, but I didn't activate it. Or you know what? I don't even know if I downloaded it. I'd have to go back and look now. The Mercedes Easter egg, yeah, that's the same. I think that's the same screenshot that I looked at too. So that's the rumor, is that Mercedes is going to be the third DLC for 25 this year. Which, if my calculations are correct, that should come out either at the end of July or sometime in August. Definitely before September, because September and October they're going to focus on promoting the expansion pack. And maybe even the year 2 season pass. They might start promoting that. And small tractors, yeah, I either I downloaded it and I didn't activate it, which is most likely, or I just didn't download it. I want to say, I'm trying to remember back now. I think I did download it. I just probably didn't activate it. the new fish stuff. So are the fishing rods, is that going to be like a hand tool, kind of like the chainsaw? I kind of am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to going fishing in Farm Sim. Alright, we just about got it. A couple more bales. Oh, there's a save. Yeah, apparently you can fish from the bank. Whether you're on a river or lake or whatever. You can fish from a boat. You can fish from the bank. You can do the fish like in the hatcheries or whatever there. Alright, got that done. Cool beans. Alright, I'll come back for this tractor. Let's go collect these, that one. Alright, tab to something over near the house there. If there's anything near the house over there. Well, let me go back the other way. I think the closest thing is probably going to be this truck. I'll just have to run the rest of the way over here. And we do have 122. I think we paid back our loan though. Yep, we don't have any loan. So let's go sleep for a couple days. Boy, that sounds good. Sleep for a couple days. Check the sail thing again. Rain! We'll check it again here. Nope. Still watching for a Class 11 combine. So we'll go to 8 o'clock the next day. Yeah, the fert/lime spreader. Yeah. What's the capacity on that, by the way? Did it say? There's an 8R. That is, I do believe that is the older 8R. Not a bad price, but what is the... $345. that the most we can get out of it, though? Looks like 345 is the most we can get out of it. You can't choose your wheel brand. Nah, I think I'm gonna pass on this one. Need something with a little more oomph. Alright, so we can go on to April. The US version, you can choose the brand and options. Where's the US brand at? This is the EU version. This is the one that was in the mod hub, so I guess I've got the EU version in. Oh, it's in large tractors? Oh, okay. That's the one that's on sale then. The EU version is on sale. There is a US version. Yeah, we'll hold off on that. But that both of them only do go to 345 horsepower. I think we'll pass on that. Let's get into April. See what our fields look like. We gotta buy some fields. Buy some fields, do some more contract work, make some money, mow our fields, refill our fermenting silos. All the fun stuff. Alright, let's go take a look. Let's see what we got. Has anything been planted? Okay, we do have beans over there. There's beans over there. Got wheat up there. That's the only thing I see that's of any interest really to us right now. The one lonely bean field. What did they plant over here? What is that? Oh, canola up there. What is that? More wheat? Is that corn? Oh, there's some corn right there. Oh wait, I think the map is still loading in. Yeah, the map is still loading in. I forget it takes a little longer for the 4X maps to load in sometimes. I gotta wait a minute. Alright, so we've got corn there, looks like. Yep, corn there. Got corn there. We own that field. Ooh, is that in corn? Oh man, that one's in corn, that big one there. That is in wheat. Look, there's a soybean field right there. Little tiny field. That'll have to be the one we get, I guess, to start. Looks like some beans down there by the river. Yep, got some soybeans there. Oh, save. That looks like sunflowers. Not a lot in lieu of beans, but is that corn? Yep, that's in corn right there. So we got some decent cornfields. I would say probably get these barley fields that are going to be ready first. We have this big barley field there. And then we can plant. We've got some fields that we can plant. Yeah, they put sugar beets over there. They put canola in there. There's a lot of canola this time around. But there are some nice cornfields. There's a cornfield there. That's wheat. Some of these are already fully fertilized. But the ones that are were just planted, hold off on those because they're shouldn't be ready to harvest. I'd say the barley fields. We get the barley fields, and then we buy the brewery. Let's look at contracts too. There should be some good contracts. Just keep pushing, just keep pushing. Oh yeah, good fertilizing contracts. We'll take the lot. Usually some pretty good contracts out there. What do we got? That is hoeing. So these are all hoeing contracts. Ooh, there's one for 53 grand. Yeah, buddy. There's a 20 grand weeding one. Let's take that one. Press the button, press the button. Oh yeah, they're loading in there now. Look at them. All right. Let's see. Hoeing. There's one for 19 grand. We'll do that one. That's actually the cornfield up there. I'll look at some of these closer and see if they're side by side with some that we've already got. Weeding. Yeah, I got some nice weeding ones. 25 grand. We'll take that. 28 grand. We'll take that. 32 grand. We'll take that. We about to make some money. As long as I don't touch the loan right now. 20 grand, we'll take that. Yeah, I'll go back and look at a lot of these. See what we got. Let me get them started though. Take this over to the big field. Actually, now where's the other guy at? Plow. There's the other guy. Where is this at? Okay, I'm gonna take this guy over to the big field. Actually, I need to get this guy some fuel because he's about out. He stopped by the farm down here. Actually, I think I can make it to the blue farm. I'll fill up down there. Do 8. Where's 8? Is it a big one? I may have already took it. I don't see 8. Where's 8 at on the map? There's field 6. Field, is that 8? No, that's 9. Where's 8? Oh, field 6, not 8. Field 6. Where's that's the cornfield down there. Was there a contract for it? Did I already take it out? Four, 5. I don't see a contract for 6. Where can I find the nitro tank? What's the nitro tank? Do you mean the anhydrous tank? It's at the Tractor Supply. That's where you fill up. Oh, the tank to use in the field? There are some out there. We have got... I just gotta find them. Maybe down here under tanks. Nope. Maybe under miscellaneous. Yes. We have got these. I don't know how to say that. Binky Enterprises. These are the ones that we've got. Don't ask me where I got them. Because I don't know. Actually, I think these came from an itch page. Is that right, Trent? Didn't these come from an itch page? Pretty sure these did. And no, it didn't come with the map. Alright, let me see what I've got close to this one. Not that one. That's actually the cornfield there. I think I'll take that one. Oh, 53 grand. That's the one I'm doing. Never mind. I was like, wow, another one for 53. Not that one. A lot of these down south. That's actually north of us over there. 15 grand. I'll take that one. That's not a bad one either. I think that is a cornfield as well. I'll take that one. Where is that one? That one's okay. That's I've already taken these. It jumps back to the active. I wish it didn't do that. I wish it would stay on this right here. Oh look, I hit the button and it refreshed. A lot of these are down south. Right, let me go hit some of these with the other tractor. Now I can go to the active to see where I'm going. That's down south. These two are right near me. That's a weeding one though. Gotta make sure it's a hoeing contract. Let me go hit this one over here. Yeah, probably just a general search for, because this is not the only map that has the anhydrous. Probably just a general search for the anhydrous applicator or even that brand name. I'm using two. I'm using Contract Plus and Contract Boost. Yeah, I can put it back up on the screen here. Hang on. Let's hire it out here. So there is the brand right there. BEHNKE Enterprises. And there's several different sizes. But if you put in like that name and probably anhydrous, because it says anhydrous ammonia in the description down below it there. BEHNKE. Yeah, it either came from an itch page or yep, you got it. All right, let's see. Man, I got a lot of contracts. That whole right side of the screen is, I'm sure if they had a scroll wheel, it'd probably go down further. The weeder. Need the weeder. Weeder. There it is. Where am I going with the weeder? Where am I at with the weeder? I'm down south right now. There's one over there across the river from me. Looks like all of them are up north. Are there any down south here that I can do that are close by? Got that one there. Guess I'll take that one. Ooh, we got the big field there. How much is that? 58. Yes, we'll do that one first. And then another one over there. That one's 13 grand. Okay. Do I need fuel? Man, I can't even see the stuff. The contracts are loaded in behind the thing. I can't even see my fuel gauge. Oh no. Tell you what, I think I can get to that field going through here. Well, I can do this first one and then go over to the other field. I know what I'm doing this afternoon. I'm doing contracts. Wouldn't it be nice if I could buy at least some of the fields without having to take out the loan? Wow. Alright, got the weeder going. I do believe there are some FERC contracts that I can knock out pretty quick. Got that one rolling. Got that one rolling. Fertilizing. Where am I going? Down south there's one. The other cotton field is one. And then this big field there. I think the fertilizing rig is close to this field. Let's do that one. And I just gotta find the FERT rig. One of them anyway. It's somewhere out there. I can tell my game is like struggling with this many contracts. Train. Alrighty, that's going. I've got to take this tractor and I guess I'll take the wrapper back down there with me. I left the other FERT box down there, and I think all the contracts are up here. Definitely need to hit that other cotton field over there. Hold on to your hats. Okay. Tell you this tractor, you know, the wheels on the front, they are not. This is not a four-wheel drive tractor. And the wheels on the front, they do okay on the ground, like the flat ground like this. When you go down a cliff like that, I don't think this was designed for cliffs. Not at all. Do you have enough contracts? I don't know. You know, I think I could probably take out some more, but I can't see my stuff down there on the bottom right. Can't see my HUD. I guess I've got maybe enough fuel for this one to make it back. I think I need to start knocking some of them out. I'd say, let's see, what Where does that HUD start? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I would say 12. If you are using the enhanced vehicle mod, 12 would probably be the best number. If you're not using that, no, I still think 12 would still be the best number. One is the loneliest number. We gotta get our swather going too up there on the grass and the alfalfa. Get our silage production going again. Like we got some rain coming in too. Nope, go faster. Right, let's find the hoe. One of them got finished. Not that one. Guy's still fertilizing. There he is. I gotta scroll down to collect the contract. Alright, where are we going? He's in that one. Guess we're going up north. Looks like they're all up north of kind of the town there, Moccasin, north of Moccasin. I think that's Moccasin up there. Are there any other contracts near me before I go? One for 7 over there. I'll come back to some of these. Let's go hit these up north. Okay. The weeder is just about done. That guy's fertilizing, that guy's weeding. That guy's still hoeing. This guy's still fertilizing. Alright, everybody's doing a job. Let me get the Mac done. Gotta be in the tab border somewhere. There it is. Now I'm gonna hire this out on the grass fields first, I think. I'm gonna try that new field out. Now this only works on planted grass fields. This does not cut any of the meadow grass type fields, so only on the ones that are planted. Gonna say, let me grab another tractor and I'll, but the only other tractors are the Fords down here. Probably need to get a FERT rig for that one, for the small one. Little fertilizer box. Got that one. Oh wait, I do have this one up here. What did they plant that one in? That is wheat. Not that wheat is a bad crop. It's just not one of the ones that we're kind of focused on getting right now. What's the cheapest field? Probably this little one right there. Field 27. Actually, that is ready to go already. It's fully fertilized. It doesn't have any weeds in it right now. Oh, somebody's done. Who's done? Probably the weeder. Yep. Weeder's done. So we finished that one. I'm going to take him over to the big field over here now, field 6. He's going to be over there for probably the rest of the day. Because even though this is the biggest weeder in the game, this only goes 7 miles an hour. So he'll be over there for the rest of the day. Might as well stop at the BP station over here and fuel up. Wait, what? Yeah, can't turn too sharp with this weeder attached to this thing. Ouch. Fuel's expensive. Alright, and to get into that field, actually, I need to go back. We have to go back, Kate. Turn too sharp, turn too sharp. I really should probably look at putting this on like a cultivator or something in the future, instead of the weeder. Great, he's going. What was I gonna do with this guy? I do not remember. I'll think about it here in a minute. He's swathing the grass. He's not in the way of that guy. No, he shouldn't be. He's hoeing his heart out. Oh, did this guy finish? Yep. Got 37 grand coming from that one. Maybe. Here we go. Kind of froze there for a second. I was like, uh-oh. We did the weeding one on that one. We're done there. What do we got left to fertilize? That one we're doing. And then this one down south. Are there any others up here? There's that one. That is actually... Where is that? Oh, that's over by the blue farm. What kind of crop is that? More sunflowers. Ah, but they did put some corn in by the soybean field over here. Should I even hit the button? I gotta see if there's anything else out there. Oh, yep, something popped up. April is always usually the busiest month for contracts. Let's see what we got. So hoeing, there's that one. A lot of them down south. Weeding. That's actually a good weeding one right there. I think I'll take that one. Ooh, I see another one. Yep, weeding, 28 grand. I'll take that one. Or wait, no, we've already taken it. Oh, it keeps switching back. There's another one there. Guess I'll go ahead and take that one since we're heading up this way anyway at some point. I think I'm maxed out again. I don't think I can take any more. Here's the other fur contracts. I guess let me take this down south and fertilize that down there. Actually, you know what? Let me get some fertilizer because I'm about out. Here's the tractor supply. Got some canola over here. Ooh, is that corn right there? Yep, we got corn behind the thing. Corn behind the shop. Field 78. Shortcut. Man, I tell you what, man, we come in here and cut down all these trees down in here. We're going to take this field right here and expand it on up that way and plow that up and get a little more yield off our field right there. This is the cornfield there. I'll be looking at that one. Field 78. I don't know, we don't have any contracts on it right now, but it may not need anything. Sometimes the fields don't need anything. Yeah, that one's fully fertilized. Not to say that it won't have weeds later, but how much is that? That's 132. I think we really, again, need to probably focus on the barley fields first. Trying to get those. I'm having right now 5 hired workers at a time. You can see there's 4 hired workers out there right now. Fertilizing, hoeing, weeding, hoeing again. I'm gonna get this one going. This will be number 5. Number 5. Johnny 5 is alive. It's gonna take me a minute to get down south. Or any other FERC contracts down south while I'm down there. Oh yeah, there's no, that's active. That keeps getting me every time. Snowcap, that's over there south of the blue one. We might come back and get that. It's not a big ticket one. I think right now I probably just need to focus on getting the ones done that are the big ticket items. Making our money. Where can you sell your clover bales? Have you looked in the menu? Go under prices. And then scroll down over here to clover. Any of these places, the animal dealer, the farmer's market, any of these places except clover. However, I would say if you want to do that, you can. But if you do own one of the farms, you can put your clover in the fermenting silo and turn it on and it will make silage. So that'll help you, it'll go to help producing silage, and then you can turn around and sell your silage. Although actually, now that I'm looking at it, price for clover right now is higher than the price for silage. 183 at the Montana Hay Company, and then 176. They've got me. It might actually be worth just selling the clover directly. The price is higher. I don't know what the yield is. I know that you can put it in the fermenting silo and it'll help make the silage though. Well, usually we get a better price for silage. It's usually like anywhere from $2.15 to $2.25. But if all you have is a clover field, you can just sell it directly, I guess. Yeah, I think it would be smart to kind of divide and conquer the map. So we've got a John Deere fertilizing setup here. We've got an international fertilizing setup so that we got the red and green covered. I can get a blue one for the Ford. Have the red one cover the northwest. Have the blue guy cover the northeast. And then probably have the Deere cover the southeast. That leaves one more. I need one more to cover the southwest. What brand should we go with? We've got Case IH. We've got John Deere. We've got Ford New Holland. Red, blue, green. What's the last color? What should we go with? Just go take a look in the shop and brainstorm here. It needs to be not all Chalmers. No. It needs to be something that stands out. So you know that the Case international brand, it's red, it stands out. You can get pretty much every piece of equipment that you need with that brand. You can get the tractors, you can get the harvesters. The same goes with Deere and the Ford New Holland. I would narrow it down. I would say Fendt or Kloss or Massey. A close race. We've got big Fendt tractors. We've got big John Deere tractors. We've got big New Holland tractors. We've got big Case tractors, big Kloss tractors. I'd say it's probably down between Fendt and Kloss for the last big brand. JCB? Yeah. There's not a JCB combine though. You go Fendt or Massey. We could definitely go Fendt. If we look in harvesters. There are Fendt harvesters. There's Kloss harvesters. And there is, I would say this is probably like a class 11 harvester. It's got a long pipe on it. We've got the ideal Fint. The only problem with the ideals is the pipes. The pipes are not super long. Meaning there would be a restriction on the size of the grain header you could use. We've got the Colossus. Could go Rostelmesh. Yeah, it didn't have a long pipe on it though. I don't think you can make it longer. I'm gonna say no. I would say the X9 is a class 11, the AF11 is an 11, the CR11 is an 11. That one and that one. And then probably the 8000 Coloss there. The thing about the Coloss is it's got the long pipe. Alright, I see 4 workers. I had 5. Who's done? Looks like this fertilizer guy. Go collect that contract. $36 grand there. I feel like I should be going back and paying the loan off, but we don't have any more loan to pay off. I'm not used to having money. Don't worry, we'll take care of that. We won't have it long. Okay, but there aren't any other FERT contracts right now out there. Got the one guy down there doing that one too. Guess we could go and fertilize some of our own fields. Fertilize that one up there. Let's, I'm gonna take this guy down to the big field. We invested in this field, we got lucky. It had soybeans in it. We invested in this field down here when it had soybeans. It was fully fertilized, didn't have any weeds in it. We worked and worked and worked the contracts and the loan. And yeah, we ended up with the big field down here. So we harvested the beans off of it. And that's why we've got a surplus of soybeans. We've got over 600,000 liters of surplus soybeans that we will be able to sell very soon. How's he doing on fuel? He usually drinks the fuel. I think he'll make it. Straight lines. he'll be down there for a minute. Who's gonna be done first? Who's on second? No, who's on first and what's on second, I think is how it goes. Looks like the fertilizer. I guess that's the field down south. Yep, 36. Oh, the swather's done. I'll move him to the next one. This ain't need to move him. I think we're hoeing that one. Yep. And then down the roadways there. Just move them right over. Oh yeah, he's way down south. Actually, he's prepping these fields down here. I need to move him over. I think I'm gonna put this guy on the oxbow. Start merging some of that together. Have I looked in the sales today? I don't know that I have. Probably shouldn't. Oh good, there's nothing really there. Good. I'm still holding out for a Class 11 combine. Thing is, we'll probably get a good trade-in deal. We have the 7150 case that we can trade in on it. So whichever one comes up in the sale thing first, that's probably where we'll start. Whether it's the X9, whether it's Floss, whether it's AF11, CR11, whatever it is. One, two, three. I only see three. Why do I only see three? Oh, somebody finished. Who finished? This guy finished. So he's done fertilizing. I'm going to move that fertilizing rig. I don't think we have any other active... No, we don't have any other active FERC contracts until I press the button. I'm going to go press the button again. Oh, look. There's another FERC contract. Hey, that's not far from us. You know what? I'll do it. I'm going to press the button some more, too. Nothing's popping up. That gets old quick, though. Alright, let me just... I've done passed my turn with this guy. Turn around. Plow off right here. You ready? Dun, dun, dun. Bum, bum. Do, 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 do. Love this merger. Alright, so with this merger, you can switch it to go left and right. By just hitting that button right there. And actually, you know what? I am going to go left. I'm going to go around this way. Let me turn on my GPS here, just to use it as a guide. I'm going to show the lines. The good part about this is since it's doing 2 in rows, when I make a complete circle, I can turn around and go the opposite direction and then swath it to the right and not have to worry about or I just could go the opposite direction and then just keep swathing to the left. Just kind of turn around and come back. Either way, this is 12 meters wide, so you get a 24 meter swath with this. So it's a 24 meter rake, basically. This is it would make it the largest windrower in Farming Simulator. Honestly, the MacDon, just the swather from it, really, these rows are probably already big enough, but hey, what do we need? More power. We're gonna rake these up. Merge 2 rows into one. And yeah, go big or go home. And look at that, the curve's big enough, it'll hold on to the line. Didn't have to disengage or anything. Yes, this is a convert from 22. I have really hoped that Giants would just go ahead and bring this over. They brought some other Oxbow equipment over, 25. This is one thing that I really wanted. Love this merger. They gave us an Anderson merger, but it's like 9.2 meters, and this one is 12. So this one covers a broader space. Alright, so now all I gotta do is lock up with this line there. And then make a bigger row. No, I didn't convert it. I actually don't know who converted it. I found this one. Don't even remember where. It was not from one of the sketchy sites. This one I had a direct download to the file itself. A lot of those sites out there, you know, they kind of make me nervous a little bit too, because the sites will, when you go to download it, it'll redirect you to other stuff that's, you know, questionable, that's, you know, pop-ups and other kind of sites and stuff, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. But this one had a direct link to the download for the file, and I have tested it, and it seems to work so far. Haven't had any problems with it. Seems to be a direct conversion from 22. But adding this second grass field, we've got this grass field and that grass field over there. Should be able to keep we've been struggling trying to keep grass stocked up in the fermenting silo. This should help with that. Now I'm thinking about planting there's another field kind of straight southwest that direction. It's down there by the highway. Thinking about putting it in grass as well. We should have plenty of grass. Great. See how clean? Nice and clean. All right. So, that is how we do that. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. I've got to grab me some lunch. Got to get these contract workers working on their contracts again. And hopefully we'll get some more. The goal is to not take out any loan. Get the silos filled up to ferment the silage. And hopefully acquire some fields in the next video. So, we'll work on that and do that. Until the next time, remember you reap what you sow. It's Matt from the Green Arcade. We'll see y'all in the next one. Have a good rest of your weekend and a good week. Catch us on YouTube, youtube.com/thegreenarcade for additional videos. And we'll be back again next weekend. See you guys later.